Okay. And my microphone is on, right? Yes? Okay. Let's get this started. Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow Workshop. Happy US Election Day. Hopefully you guys went out to vote already. If not, everyone, welcome to another Webflow Workshop. To do it. Happy US Election Day. Hopefully you guys went out. Oh, jeez. Let's stop that. Okay, cool. We're back on target. Okay. Yeah, so if you haven't voted yet, please do. And yeah, polls close around the country around like 8 p.m. I think in your local area. So yeah, go and do it. I voted. Wait, what? 7 what?
7 o'clock. East Coast is 8.
No, this one closes at 8 too.
But I'm saying like everywhere else is 7.
Oh, okay. Well, Google it. Anyways, yes, I voted. You guys should vote too if you're in the United States. So, what are we doing today for the workshop? I want to show you guys how to be friends with your developers. You know, there's a cool tool in Webflow that you can export all the static HTML, CSS, JS, and all the inline images out of Webflow into a nice zipped package, okay? And we even put subfolders in those packages with a CSS folder, an images folder, a JS folder. So yeah, we do it all for you and we keep everything clean. But when it comes to the class naming and the way you hand off that package to your developer, that's still up to you, the designer. And we know that there's times where you and the developer may argue about something, like something doesn't look right, or it just won't work on your own servers. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to build that bridge and make sure that everything goes as smooth as possible. And I have this webpage up right now, 538.com. It's a very dynamic, data-driven page. Now, if you've been using Webflow, you know that Webflow cannot do some of these things. Okay, these type of interactions, it can't do it natively. Okay, it can't pull up dynamic data like this. It certainly can't do this, but oh my god, that would be cool, right? But this is where developers come in. They're the ones who take the templates and push the website or web page to do even more cool things, okay? And yeah, I want to show you how to package it all, okay? So what I'm going to do is kind of recreate this template just a little bit. So I'm going to do it live, and then I'll show you some tips on what to do as I go through it, okay? So, before I begin, I always like to say thank you to everyone in the chat room who's here already. I know Nita was the first one here, and I think some of you who are not in the United States were confused about the time change. Yeah, sorry about that. We pushed our clocks 1 hour back, so Nita was here really early, like an hour and a half early. So yeah. Also, Riley's here. Brian, nice to see you again. Mikhail, Alex, Antonio. Anyone else? I think that's... Oh, and Jorn. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. All right, cool. So with that, let's go ahead and go into Webflow. And so what I'm going to do is... Let's see here. Let's start off with the top banner. Now, the top banner I'm going to add as a section. Okay. And to make it more HTML5 friendly, I can go to the settings tab right here and change the tag to a section. Cool. All right. So that changes the HTML to say section rather than div. Okay. All right. And now with the class names, I want to make sure that not only I understand it, but I'm communicating to my developer in the future, saying, hey, this class name is for this. So I'm going to call it live blog banner. Okay. So this makes it very clear to the developer, hey, this div is for this live blog banner. And don't worry if you have spaces or caps in your selector names. That's okay to do in Webflow, because what Webflow does, it lowercases everything, removes spaces, and replaces them with dashes. So it's all good. Okay, so with this, I've already uploaded some of the image assets, and I've already added all the colors in my swatches. So there we go. Let's go ahead and add a background, and we're gonna choose these guys right here. No size, and there we go. Cool. And let me add some padding around everything. We'll say 50. That'll be good. And the next thing you know, we're gonna have another element inside. And I don't think we have to do anything with this. Actually, let's see here. I can go ahead and call this live blog banner content. Okay. And let's go ahead and put some text in here. And 2016 election live blog. Right, and I'm back here. Let's go ahead and change this to white, make this bold, and make this huge. There we go. Cool. And then I think there's a button. I think they put a break. Yeah, they put a break, and then there you go. And then we're gonna put a button. Ooh, that's big. And I think it's last post. Okay, so this last post, it says last post 10 minutes ago, right? So that's obviously, let me go back. That obviously is dynamic, okay? So what you can do is last post, you can just put last post and then 00 minutes ago. And so what you can do with this right here is I'm going to highlight this number right here. And then I'm going to click on this paintbrush. This means wrap with span. Okay. So I'm going to click on it. And so now if I look at my navigation, I have a span within the text, within the button. Okay. And so I can call this out live blog minutes. Okay, and so that way a developer could just put in their own jQuery or JavaScript or whatever to find this selector and replace 00 with the actual time, the last time the blog has been updated. Okay, so now let's go back to the link and we'll say read blog button. Okay, so let's go ahead and going to go like that. White, there we go. And this is way too big. And let's put some space like that. And I'm thinking it's not bold, so it's just regular normal. I guess it can be bigger for the, there you go. It's like, boom, big. All right. You know what? Let's also put the candidates there. Put them on the side. No tile. There we go. And yeah, I think that's, oh, it's at the bottom. Okay. So let's go ahead and remove the bottom padding. Yeah. All right. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm just showing you guys what you can do. Okay. There we go. So something like that. And so again, what I did was I'm calling out places with a span for dynamic content. All right. Moving on. Vitor says hi. Hi, Vitor. Thank you for coming. All right, so now we have a navbar. Now, we all know how to make navbars, but I'm going to go through it really quickly. I'm going to drag in a navbar component here. And we have a container, but you know what? I want to give that container a class name of nav container because I want to make the width 100%. Oh, can I force it? Oh, it's because of... Alright. Sorry about that. I'm going to drag... Because this is a pre-made 960 width container, you cannot change the width. So I'm going to force it by dragging in another div block inside of Navbar and just moving everything into it. Right there, remove that container. Now we have 100%. That's what I want. All right. So this Navbar right here, let's change it to white. I don't want that default DDD. I just want white. There we go. And let's put in the logo into the brand. Okay, and because the logo is a SVG, it's going to come out looking like 1 pixel, so we have to actually set it. So I'm going to give that image a class name of logo, and let's go 250. That looks about right. 250. Should it be smaller? Let's go 220, like that. Okay. And let's go ahead and move it. Am I pressing the right button? There we go. I'm holding Shift and Alt at the same... Where is it? Oh, Shift. Or is it Alt? I'm so confused. There we go. Shift and Alt. I think my keyboard's messing up right now. Just put it in by myself. Cool, something like that. And right here, President Senate analysis. President Senate analysis. And so there's this style right here where it has a border, but the navbar has a border too. So here's how we can do that. We're gonna go back to the navbar, and it goes all the way across, right? Yeah, it goes all the way across. So what we can do is navbar has a bottom border of 1, and it's not black, it's gray. And these guys right here, this navlink. Okay, navlink. Let's see, can I push it down? Oh, each navlink should have some sort of, yeah, border. The bottom border is going to be, let's see here, this one, hold on, current one. Okay, so this is what I'm doing in my head. Notice how this has borders, but these don't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this is the current state, this is the active state, okay? And so in order to put the active or current selector is you have to link it to the current page. Let me show you how. I'm going to click on settings right here, choose a page and click home. Now if I go back to my styles panel, look, now I'm playing with the styles for nav link current. Okay, so whatever I do here, I'm only doing for its current selector. Okay, if I go here, right, and I click, give it a same selector of navlink, notice now how it's not blue, and it doesn't have the current. If I go here, it has current. Okay, that's because this isn't linked to anything. Okay, so let's go ahead and play around with this one. This one has a border, the same like that, but the bottom I'm going to overwrite it and make it white. Okay, and let's go ahead and play with the relative, and so I'm going to push it down, and there we go. And this nav link, let's go ahead and push this down as well to 13. I think that's it. Is that 13? Yeah. And the border is going to be, actually no, we need all borders. There we go. There we go. We want to set up we want to make sure that the border is there but transparent. That way you don't get a 1 pixel jumping effect. Okay. Drew's asking why not use tabs instead of nav? Because I feel like this is more of a real Navbar. If I use a tab component, then if you look at the URL, it's 2 different pages. It's loading a whole different page. Now you could go with tab if you feel like it. I mean, I'm not telling you how to do your thing. I'm just saying this is one way, but yeah, might make more sense to do tabs. See what works with you. All right. And updated 4 hours ago. So again, I'm going to double click in here, put a break, and put updated. Ooh, it's 00 hours ago. And I can do a span right there. Nav link time. Okay, and let's make this smaller. Like that. And make this centered. Trying to figure this one out. What's pushing it down? What can I... Maybe it's this guy right here, Ah, I got it. Cool. But we want to push it down by 1. Ah, there we go. Okay. Because each one needs a break updated to 0 hours ago. Wrap nav link time. I want to make sure that all of them are centered. I'll do the same thing with this. Updated 00 hours ago. Uh-oh, I can't see it. There it goes. Nav link time. And there we go. So something like that. See if we can push this away just a bit more from the top. There we go. It was getting really cramped. Alright, so something like that. You can use Flexbox with the nav links. Oh yeah, you can too. Everyone in control of the position. That makes more sense, yeah. Alright, now for the 2 column. Okay, so let's go ahead and... So this one, you can actually scroll. Okay, so that's kind of fancy. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a section, and we're gonna call this main wrapper. Okay, and this is gonna do that Flexbox stuff. Okay, so let's flex it out. Cool. And then inside of that, we're going to have a column here, and we're going to call this left nav. Okay. And then we're going to have another one I'm going to drag in, and we're going to call this, what should we call it? What will call this out easily? Okay. So this is main wrapper. This could be called main content. Or just content. Main content well. Push that off like that. There we go. But this guy should be bigger than the left. So how we're going to do that is use this cog right here and push it. And there we go. So this is 3 times bigger than that one. Okay. Yep, you got the right idea, Mikhail. Overflow scroll. Okay. Where's that? Right here. Boom. Actually, scroll. puts a horizontal bar too. I like to use auto, so that way it automatically adds a scroll bar if needed. Okay. So we're not going to do the whole page, but just the main parts of it. So for example, this one, this headline right here, right? I'm gonna copy that. Let's go ahead and put 35. Put the heading right here. Okay. And then we have the heading actually is inside of a div because it needs that bottom border. Okay. So content, actually component title. Okay. And I'll show you why I named it that later. Put some padding. Bottom bar with dark gray. Double check. Yeah. Cool. So it's like that. Oh, also it needs some space under it. And let's go ahead and put another div. And so this is where the map is going to be. Actually, no, we need this bar right here. Okay. So let's go ahead and what we're gonna call this one. Chance. We'll call it chance of winning. Yeah. Chance of winning. You're not late, Fern. Don't worry. You're not late. Okay, chance of winning. Okay, something like that. We put in a H2. Actually, let's make it smaller, H3. There you go. And then below that, we're going to make a Flexbox. Okay. So this one is chance of winning flex. Okay, so this is a Flexbox right here. And that way we can have, let me see if I'm doing this right. So what I'm going to do is, this is a 2 column, and then this is a whole new row. And it's going to be 2 column as well. Okay. And so I can do this. Put the hold on, let me look. 2 column, and then okay, yeah. Drag in a div here, and we'll call it candidate column, and make that. There we go. Now we have 2 equal widths. Okay, and so this one we're going to put in an image. There we go. And on this one we're going to put that one. I don't know if I'm going to finish this in time. Let's see here. All right, let's just keep going and see where we get to. So I'm trying to think, how am I going to build this out? What if the candidate was also a flex as well? Okay, and they all align to the top. And that way I can put another div inside. There we go. Interesting that it's not candidate. Oh, because they need a flex as well. So candidate image. I want it to size down. This one's going, it's not moving. Candidate percentage. Interesting that it's not moving, guys. even though I put Flexbox on it. Ah! Oh, the wonderful things about live. Okay, well, let me just move on to the thing I wanted to show you guys. I'm sorry about this part. The chance of winning is not working. Ah! Okay. Because of that failure, let me just show you my notes, what I want to go through. So, making class names, okay? Making them as semantic or as easily read by you and your developer. Making components. And so, when you're making components, components are like navbars, banners, and whatnot. And you want to call that out as easily as possible. Thanks, Anna. Maybe I'll do that next time. So, for example, Atomic Design by Brad Frost. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy or heard of Atomic Design, but it's really, really a really good idea to take into account when you're trying to build websites. You start with atoms, then go into molecules, organisms, templates, and then pages. If you can't really understand that, here he makes it super clear and simple to understand. Like, you start with a label. These are the basic atoms. You label it, and then you have a input, and then you have a button. Those are your 3 different atoms. You put them together, and it becomes a molecule, and so you put the label, and then the input, and then the search. So now it's a molecule. So you see it's coming together. And then later, it becomes an organism, and so you have these 3 atoms put together as a molecule, while at the same time, these are all different atoms too, and they were put together as a molecule. And then now you put them all together, it becomes an organism. And then after that, it becomes a template. So you put that into a template, and so everything starts to come together. And so it'd be really cool if you're handing off to someone, to a developer, to call all these out in a style guide page. So you can create a new page and call it style guide in Webflow, okay? And just start to call everything out, okay? Start to call everything out, like with typography. So I remember a long time ago when I started using Webflow, I called this out. I tried to make a style guide for the company I was at, for a page redesign I was trying to do, and I had sections for each one. So for example, we'll call this section for now, give it 50. And so this is just a page for reference to a developer, that when they're going to start taking everything and putting it in a different environment, how easily can they just grab stuff from Webflow and put it into the environment? So you want to make that as easy as possible. So I'm going to call this out with saying typography, right? Section title. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to put heading 1, and then heading 2. Oops. 3, and so on, okay? And then after you do that, call out stuff like the colors. Okay, what colors are you using? And so what I did was I called out, you can use, actually text would be better. Drag this in there. Blue, and I would call it out. Let's just do, yeah, just call it blue, and then I'll style it with the color blue, but I'll also get the hex color. So if a developer just wants to copy paste rather than trying to find the CSS, you would just call it out like that. So this one would be It's not blue, it's red. Okay, and this one is probably, forgot, is it gold, I think? Oh no, okay, I'll also do gold right here. The next one will be magenta. Oops. Gold. Red. So you guys get the deal. Put all your swatches in here. Call it out. Make sure that your developers understand what's going on, because taking it from a page that's already fully built, that's nice and all, but go even deeper. Help them out that if they're just looking in a code world, not very visual, you can just give them this style guide page and then they would understand how to do it. Nita says, cool idea, visual guide for developers. Yeah, exactly. You're giving them a roadmap of what you're trying to build as a team. And this whole thing about components. So if I were to take stuff from this, let's see here. Navlink. Okay, so what if, what does a what does the live blog banner look like, right? And so I could go here and say div block live blog banner, right? And you can just leave it like that, right? Let me just call this out a little bit more. There we go. Do a h4 live blog banner, right? And so there you go. And let's actually make it easier for ourselves and put that in a div. So this page is not actually going to be used. This page is not going to actually be used on the live site, but it's just a guide. Okay, so live blog banner, and this could be your button styles, right? So if I have like a regular default button, it's going to look like that. Default button. Or if I have a different button, go here. I can just delete that, push that there. Where'd you go? Okay, you're right here. Can't see it, so let's go ahead and put a div around it. There we go. Put that right there. Read blog wrapper. So we can put a background to it. There you go. So you just keep moving forward in this kind of way where, oh, CTA button. Good idea. So yeah, when you do something like this, it'll help everyone stay on the same page. Now, whenever a new component needs to be created, you can just do it, prototype it here on a home on Webflow, and then if it gets approved, you put it in the style guide, export it out, and there you go. The people, your developers, have the code and the styles that they need. Let's see here. Joan says he did a bootstrap thingy today, looking like what Nelson is doing right now. Yeah. So Bootstrap does this and calls out every little thing. That's awesome because, and I think that's why Bootstrap is used a lot, because there's a nice style guide to help people understand what code does what thing. So you're kind of doing the same thing, but more in a visual sense, because as a designer, you're more focused on the design rather than the code. So this helps both you and a developer. Okay, so make style guides to help out your developer. Yeah. This also is really good if you have like interactions. How do interactions happen? Make a whole new section called interactions where you can have interactive elements playing with each other, and that way you can easily call out to your developer, hey, use this interaction on these type of elements. Okay? And no longer do you have to kind of draw it out or storyboard it to tell a developer, this is what I want something to do. If I click on a button, I want it to spin around or something. You don't have to explain it in words or show them in a storyboard. You can just have them interact with it immediately, and all they would need to do is take the special data-ix tag that Webflow puts for interactions, and they can just copy that and paste it into their code, and it'll be done for them. They don't have to worry about making up their own CSS transforms or keyframes in CSS. They can just rely on Webflow's code to do it all for them. Okay? Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get past this, but, trying to make it as simple as possible for you guys to understand today's topic. Yeah. So be friends with your developers. Go through the style guide with them. Make sure that, you guys agree on the class naming convention. But yeah, that's the whole point about Webflow, right? It's trying to make everyone's workflow super streamlined and very visual. All right. So with that in mind, any questions? Any questions about Webflow, web design in general? Do you have anything you're working on? I always leave off this other half of the Webflow workshop to you guys. Okay? Brian says it's not bad for use as a handoff for CMS standards as an org as well. Yes. Yeah, this is great if you're using like a more complex CMS. Just like probably 538.com is using something really crazy. And so, of course, they can't use Webflow for it. But if they wanted to, or if your company wanted to, you can prototype everything inside of Webflow, as well as make a style guide and have everything coded, as far as the template goes. So that way, developers can focus on doing all the cool type of stuff, all these cool infographics. I mean, this is right here. This is a tab. This is where you would use tabs, right? And so I would leave it to a developer to do all this awesome SVG stuff, but let Webflow be the thing that creates all the basic HTML and CSS around it. Okay. Riley asks, Nelson, can you copy pages from a project to a separate project? Not yet. So we are working on that. And that's something we as a Webflow team need as well. So a lot of the stuff that you guys are asking for, the team is asking for too. I mean, we've built this platform, and now that our team has grown, we notice that many times we run into issues, the same issues that you guys are running into. For example, I need to update the Webflow Workshops page, which is on the webflow.com project. And if someone is already in that project, then I cannot get in and edit it myself. I have to go through CMS, but there's some things I still need to edit on the designer tool. So we're working on a way to make that happen. Or using Webflow as a style guide, where one project is a style guide, and we can just copy and paste all those elements into another website. That would be cool. We need that as well. So yeah, working on it. Great question. Let's see here. Jahabla says, I'm a bit late. Is this workshop about exporting Webflow pages? Yes, you can export. So I forgot to show you the last part. So this button right here, if you're not familiar with it yet, exporting code. So all that beautiful CSS that we didn't code, but kind of did with the styles panel, is right here. So you would prepare full zip, send that to your developer, and you're all set. Okay. But you must have a paid account plan, whether it be professional or a team plan. That's how you can get access to this guy right here. Okay. Um. Okay, we got a URL from Mikhail. If there's no other questions, I'll look into that. No other questions. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Lifestyle T. We need advanced pseudo selectors. Are you talking about, Antonio? Are you talking about stuff like colon before, colon after, or inf or child or something like that? If that's what you're talking about, yeah. I think I don't know how that would work inside of Webflow, but hey, that trying to put the whole web design industry into one platform, I think it's intense. So, yeah, put that in the wish list, and we may get into it. All right, so Lifestyle Tea by Mikhail. First thing, the logo is really close to the edge. I think because you have a lot of white space, add some more white space between this box, this call out bar, and the logo. Keep everything more open. Where's the wish list? If you go to forum.webflow.com, there's a category right here, wish list. There you go. All right, back on this one. So yeah, this is nice. I like it. I feel like the text on this now I'm getting picky. I'm sorry, but this text right here is getting really close to the edge. It would be nice to have margins on this logo right here, or the text on the box, because everything else is very open, and then it's very tight on the edges. Okay, nice call to actions. Okay, cool. How it works. I almost missed this. It's very light. Since this is a call out color right here with this pink magenta thing, I would use that same, try using that same color here with this text. See what happens. If or use it here. I don't know. Here we go. So everything feels tight here. A little bit more space around everything. Don't be afraid of using a lot of space. People will scroll down. Okay. Okay, tabs, nice. I see nothing wrong here. It's very light, though. These right here, very light. Like, I can't really read them. Maybe a darker gray. Okay. Nice. Playing around with typography. Going with that Z thing. I like it. Yeah. Okay, so here, yeah, definitely you have no space. You have space down here, but you don't have space up here. Alright. Alright, good job so far. Jahabla is asking, can we get dynamic style settings work with CSS states? Link hover color from collection. No, actually you cannot, not yet. What Jahabla is asking is, excuse me, is for dynamic pages, can you, or dynamic elements inside of dynamic lists, if you do a hover effect, can you change that, for example, change the color of the text on hover to the color called out in the dynamic collection? At this time, you cannot. But I think you would have to do something with dynamic embeds in order to do that. And I'm trying to think how to do that. It is possible with dynamic embeds, but not natively inside of Webflow. But I know what you're going for. All right, Bootstrap kit. Oh, someone already did this. Okay. Yes! Exactly what I mean. Thank you, Jorn. Oops. Thank you, Jorn. That's exactly what I mean. Call everything out. Everything. Oh, yeah. Look at this. So if a developer got this from you as a designer, you know how happy your developer would be? I mean, like, just trying to think from a developer's point of view. If I saw this, I'd be like, yeah, let's have some beers because we're going to have so much extra time, you know? Because everything is so clearly called out. Oh, if these were actually working, you know, that would be cool. So this is what I mean by actual interaction style guides. Because, like, what if I click on this, I see exactly what's happening, and as a developer, I don't have to code that. I can just copy that element out of the Webflow code and put that into the web app, and then boom, I don't have to do that extra CSS stuff, and I know that it's cross-browser compatible, or it has all the prefixes for the different web browsers, so I don't have to worry about a thing. I can just copy code and paste it in, and I'm done. Yeah, see how these have hover states? As a developer, I don't have to type in, or I don't have to style it inside of CSS to make those hover states happen. I could just copy the CSS file and place it in. So there you go. Oh, this is awesome. I'm having so much fun with this one. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Components. So this is interactive, and I understand what's happening. And as a developer, I could just copy and paste it and replace all these links with things from a database or something, you know? Yeah. What else? You know who has a great... Oh, this is a good one. ux.mailchimp.com. If you can get to this level right here... And yes, this can be done inside of Webflow, but if you can get to this level, like MailChimp, oh my god. Look at that. That's just... And then I call it out with code, too? Like, what? Oh, man. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this MailChimp page, it is glorious. Like, look at that. Oh, that's cute. $11. Okay. So yeah. Make a style guide and your developers would be so happy. And that's the point of being a team, right? You want to help your other teammates, because if you help your teammate and your teammate helps you, everyone's happy. Go out for beers, and the most stressful part is which beer should we get? I know, perfect world scenario. There's still going to be stresses, but hopefully they're good stresses, right? You know, those stresses that challenge you to do something awesome, rather than the stress of being challenged to do something not awesome, you know? So, yeah. Whoever did this, I think it's Jorn. Great job with this. I'm gonna put this on the forum post later. Here, let me make a note. Great job. Alright, what else are you guys doing? Frontify makes this thing kind of very easy. What is Frontify? Ah, okay, it's a different app. Frontify style guide. Specify. Okay, but... Okay. But, can you take the code? I don't... Drew, can you take the code? Can you, like, export the code and it's actually readily usable? Oh, that's a cute hamburger. Features. Within minutes. Easy to share. Always up to date. Huh. View example. Okay. Oh, okay, so you can download stuff. Alright, I'm gonna have to look into this more. Yeah. Thanks for the suggestion, Drew. Let's see here. Mikhail, I saw someone mention Shopify's buy button. Has anyone tried it yet? As in to integrate with Webflow. It mentioned that there's a cart function. Yeah, so over the weekend, Shopify, well, I mean, at the end of last week, Shopify changed their buy button JavaScript. And, oh, bye, Jordan. So Shopify changed their buy button JavaScript, the embed code that you would put onto another platform. And it was more than 5,000 characters. And so what we did is we lifted the character count that we have on the character count limit that we have on embeds and custom code areas from 5,000 to 10,000. So now you guys can take that code and put it into Webflow and you'll be fine. Go ahead and try it and see if it works for you guys, but it has been working for some people who have been very vocal about it on the forums. So yeah, thank you guys for being patient with us. Okay, so Michael has a site called Typespace2. What you working on? Oh! Okay. What is this? See, look how much space Michael puts, you know? Not afraid of using a lot of space. Right here, a lot of big, breathable space. Tabs are nice. Ooh, okay. Cool. I like this. If little pro tip, if you want to make animated GIFs, I think you can do it with QuickTime, but there's also a thing called Lice Cap. Let me put in chat room, Lice Cap. It's what I use. Oh, Drew's talking in chat rooms, talking about, I think you're talking about Frontify. Yes, but you'd have to provide the code. So yeah, I think Webflow still excels in that with creating a style guide inside of Webflow, because you can just, as a developer, you don't have to write the code. You would just take that basic HTML and CSS, put it into your own environment, and all you would have to focus on as a developer is the crazy JavaScript stuff that goes over a designer's head like me. Yeah. Okay, so let me look through this first. This tab right here, yep. Oh, I like that glow right here. Nice. Nice job. Cool. Nice hover effect. Oh yeah, I like this. The gradients, everything. It makes me feel like I'm on Stripe. If you guys aren't familiar with Stripe, it's a payment processor, and their site is full of gradients and full of beautiful things. I mean, it is nice. And it's very breathable. Whoa, that's slow. Interesting. But it's very nice. And this is what this site reminds me of it. Great job. But, uh-oh. What is this? First it was a TARDIS, and now it's a... Okay, that's cute. What is this all about?
Remember that wrench, Jimmy?
What's wrong with that thing, Joyce?
Okay. I'll take a look at that later. Great job, Michael. Great job. Let's move on back up. Do we have any other links? All right. Okay, if there's... Wow. Okay, look at that. We're finishing on time. Yeah, if you guys, I'll take a couple more questions or a couple more links. But while I'm waiting, thank you guys. And again, very, very important date for people in the United States. Vote. Please vote. Very important. If you don't think it's important, then, all these things that happen with the new laws and whatnot, if you didn't put in your say, you cannot have a say, in my opinion. So vote. Another good page on Stripe, Radar. See, they use beautiful, and this, see, obviously you can't do this in Webflow. Maybe in Interactions 2.0 you can? I don't know. I haven't played around with it yet. Wee. But yeah, gradients and lots of breathable space. Oh, man. Alright, hopefully helped you guys out with some of the tips and tricks on how to be more friendly to your developers, because they're usually the unsung heroes of websites. They're the ones who actually make the framework of a web page, make sure that everything stays up. We as designers, we're just the designers. We make things look pretty. Now, our job is super important, but if your job is very dependent on developer's job, and vice versa. The person who makes sure that the back end is working well needs to make sure that people understand how to use the front end. So, hold hands and, skip along with each other. All right. If that's it for this week, I want to thank everyone in the chat room again. Anna, Brian, Michael, Antonio, Drew, Jiha, Chavez, Jorn, Nita, Antonio, Mikhail, Theo, hello. I haven't seen you in a long time, Theo. We need to get some drinks or some coffee. Let's see here. Anyone else? Fern, Oed. Yeah, thank you all so much. Let's go through the sign-offs. Here we go. Pablo, thank you for being here. Sign-offs. If you have any account, billing, or technical related issues, email support@webflow.com. If you have any design or custom code issues, that's when you would go to the awesome community over at forum.webflow.com. Is one thing about the forums, a lot of you community members are now taking it upon yourselves to start up your own local Webflow meetups. That is awesome. I know I saw one. Let me go to the forum. Let me see here. Let me pull it up. Let me give a shout out to right here. What's the name? Rebecca. So Rebecca is doing a meetup in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Yeah. Check out let me put the link in the chat room. Okay. So if you're in that area, go say hi, meet up with other Webflow fans or web design nerds and talk it up. Have some drinks, share some tips, and yeah. I have one here in San Diego that meets up every month, and that's happening. The next one is on Thursday. But yeah, if you want to start your own, feel free to reach out on the forums, post it on the forums, and I will help you out with your meetup, because it's tough to start one. I know it's really tough, but the Webflow team wants to help you start this up. So go ahead and do that. Contact me through the forums, and I will help you out. We could even throw some shirts your way, to help you kickstart your meetup. So, if you're a fan, let's talk about it. Anyways, social media. Contact us. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Webflow app. If you want to follow me, it's at The Pixel Geek or at Webflow_Nelson. We're on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Webflow. And I think that's about it. Oh, this workshop happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, just go to youtube.com/webflow or webflow.com/workshops, and we will be here. The people in the chat room will be here. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming every week. I love you guys so much for being here, and it's fun to be a geek, right? So yeah, just like Anna said, start a Webflow community all over the world. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. Oh, gosh, I forgot to tell you guys. The guy from Dev Tips, youtube.com/dev tips. Is there one? Dev Tips. Where is he? Right here. That guy right here. That guy. Let me go here. So this guy right here, he will be on our show next week. Okay? So take a look at his channel, but he's been doing a lot of Webflow stuff and giving away an annual pro account. That's $420 worth. All right? So check out his channel. We'll have him here next week. If you have any questions for him, bring those as well. And yeah. See you guys, and make the web beautiful.